What's up, guys? It is Brian here today, coming at you with another video today, not about the San Francisco 49ers, but my second team, I guess you can call it the Carolina Panthers, because I live in North Carolina. So I was like, why don't I just talk about the Carolina Panthers? I can't just keep talking about the San Francisco 49ers all day. So I'm gonna be talking about the Panthers right now and why they are struggling, and are they DONE for the rest of the season. So let's get the show on the road. So right now, I think they are doing really bad right now. They are currently 3-6 right now, near last in the NFC South. So it's been pretty bad for them this whole season. They are one of the biggest disappointments out of all the NFL teams this season, because they coming off a 15-1 season. They made the Super Bowl. They were kind of close to winning the Super Bowl, even though they lost 10-24, but still they were kind of close to winning the Super Bowl, and it should have been a great season now. They should be doing pretty good, but as of right now, they haven't. They've been pretty awful this whole year, I'm not gonna lie. And I think last week against the Kansas City Chiefs, that was just their tipping boiling point, when they were up 17-0, but then Kansas City scored 20 unanswered points to win the game. So that was really disappointing to see that. And are they DONE yet? I'm gonna say yes, but at the same time, due to the NFC South, I think a lot of teams lost in that division on Sunday. The Falcons lost to the Eagles, the Bucks. They actually beat the Chicago Bears, and the Saints, they lost to the Broncos in a miraculous extra point kick, and they got the 2 points from converting it. So the Broncos won that game. It's just not looking good for the Panthers right now. I'll put you the standings right now as this video, and if the Falcons somehow collapse and go 8-8 like they did last year and weird stuff like that, then the Panthers do have a chance to make the playoffs and win the division. And I really don't see, I think the biggest problem really for the Panthers, they have no secondary. I think Dave Gettleman has underestimated the loss of Josh Norman. Really, Josh Norman is one of the biggest reasons why the Panthers are not doing good right now, because you could say Josh Norman was a product of the Panthers defense, and he's doing okay in Washington, but he was exceptional with the Carolina Panthers. But at the same time, you could say Josh Norman was the motivator, he was the rah-rah guy, and he was the guy to get the guys pumped up to play every Sunday during last season, and they lost him. Really, I mean, the front seven, they're still pretty good. They're still the same front seven, but the secondary with the young and upcoming corners and like no-name corners, I don't even know any of the corners right now, to be honest with you. They're really inexperienced, and a lot of NFL offenses have been taking advantage of them. And I think Ben Barikui, he was facing the Falcons on week 3 at the Georgia Dome, and they lost pretty badly. Julio just lit him up for almost 300 plus yards, and he lost his job because of that. And that was kind of stupid in my opinion. I think they were overreacting just a little bit. I mean, it's against Julio Jones. He's a freaking beast at wide receiver, so I don't know why they would just cut him immediately. If it was against a no-name receiver, then I get that, but it's against Julio Jones, man. You need to like triple cover this guy. So that was kind of stupid in my opinion, but hey, I can't really do anything about that. I'm not the general manager of this team, so talk to Dave Gettleman about that. And also, Cam Newton's been pretty beat up this whole season, man. The game against the Broncos, the first game, man, he was just absolutely rammed the whole game. It was just hard to watch a little bit, and I think long term, it's gonna come back at him long term. It's gonna be like the Andrew Luck syndrome. Andrew Luck is a great quarterback, but he's been beat up his whole NFL career. But Cam Newton's starting to get there just a little bit, and this whole season he's been sacked a lot, and I don't know how many sacks he's been sacked, but I would assume it's a lot, because a lot of the games I've seen, he's been pretty beat up, especially the games against the Vikings as well. The Vikings, man, he was just beat up as well in that game, and I think he got sacked twice against the Kansas City Chiefs last week, so that didn't really help his situation either. So hope they can reassure the offensive line. I don't know what happened to the offensive line last year. They were fantastic until the Super Bowl, but this season they just haven't been performing as well. And wide receivers, oh, I don't know what's going on with the wide receivers as well. I mean, Cam Newton last year, he took no-name wide receivers like Corey Brown, Ted Ginn Jr. He made them look good. I don't know what happened. He made them look fantastic last year, and this year something's wrong. And Kelvin Benjamin's back as well, so you would assume that with Kelvin Benjamin coming back, this offense should be even more explosive. But with the offensive line being banged up and Kelvin Benjamin, don't know what's going on with him. He got pretty much owned last week against the Chiefs when Marcus Peters just stripped him out of that ball, and the Kansas City Chiefs would end up kicking the field goal for the win. So that was pretty demoralizing in my opinion, man. That had to suck. And I like Kelvin Benjamin. He's a great receiver, but don't know what's going on this season. So I think with the loss of Josh Norman, the offensive line not protecting Cam Newton, and he's getting beat up, and just the offense being stale from last year are the reason why the Panthers aren't really doing good. And I think the Panthers are DONE. Yes, DONE for this season. Hopefully the Panthers can prove me wrong, because I like the Panthers. I just didn't like them dabbing last year, doing all that crazy stuff, taking pictures during the game. That was pretty stupid in my opinion. Maybe karma's coming back to bite them eventually right now, so that's kind of bad, but hey, whatever. And just a little bit more about that, I wish they were doing the taking the pictures, doing all that cool stuff. I wish they were doing it after the game. You can do it after the game, but don't do it during the game. I know you're blowing teams out by a lot and stuff like that, but you don't need to be doing that stuff during the game, because I mean, one day when you are losing, then you'll start pouting like a baby and just complaining all the time. And I mean, that's what we saw with Cam Newton in the Super Bowl, unfortunately. And I hope the Panthers rebound and win all their games and go 10-6, but I don't see that happening. They have a very tough schedule. They have the Raiders, they have the Seahawks, they got more division opponents, and it's not going to be an easy schedule. So they could end up being really bad this season, and the Super Bowl hangover looks real, man. I mean, just look at the Panthers last year to this year. Oh man, from 15-1 to maybe 7-9 or something like that. That's a very, very big drop off, and I hope that doesn't happen. But it looks like it's gonna happen with the tough schedule that they have and the improvements I don't see on the secondary, and Cam Newton keep getting beat up. That doesn't really help their situation as well. So that's just my little 2 cents about the Carolina Panthers. I hope they rebound as always, but we'll have to see this week when they play the New Orleans Saints. That's pretty much it, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. Please comment below what you think, why the Panthers aren't the Panthers from last year, and we can have a good discussion about that. So I'll catch you guys up later, and I'll see you another time. So bye, guys.